All right, so back in the saddle here and just continuing to work our way south. Hopefully we can make it to Ancliff before the sun completely pops out, because it's going to be a bit of a problem. So again, through another another cutting, and we just left another little creek crossing, and we'll pass through this cutting, and then there'll be another creek crossing. So a bunch of these still coming up. So here you can, so it's again all these little tributaries, all these little branches of this unnamed creek. And so here's the embankment, and you can hear the water running. And there's the creek, and there's the mileage marker. So I previously dropped down and took a look at it. So according to that, it says that it's 154.24, and so that is the mileage on the Kinghorn. And so when we take a look at the original entities, which are the Canadian National Railways Nipigon Subdivision and the Canadian Northern Railway Nipigon Subdivision and the Canadian National Railways Dorion Subdivision, we have to subtract 49.7 miles because those two previous lines started in Jellicoe, not Long Lac. The mileage becomes 104.54. I'm going to double check that because it's kind of hard to read. And so hopefully by kind of looking at some of the other spots, there's another mileage marker up there. I can kind of give it an exact definition and or exact number, and I'll pop that up on the screen. Okay, so I'm going to zip you ahead again as we go through the continuation of this embankment and then go through another rock cut. The culvert is just up here. No marker again. So here's another little branch of this creek. Again, no marker, and then into the cut, and then there's going to be another culvert up here. Surprise, surprise. I'm going to try to keep my head, because the sun keeps popping out and it's going to be happening more and more. I'm going to try to keep my head turned a little to the right here. I don't know what the glare situation is going to be like. So here's yet another culvert. Now what's interesting about this one is, again, it's kind of just a boring modern culvert. I don't see any marker on here, but in the brush over there, again, I don't know if you can see with the glare, there's actually the remains of the original concrete segmented culvert. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop down and take a look at that. All right, so we've made our way down here. I don't know, we're about 20-25 feet from the grade, which is kind of up there. We're probably about 20 feet down. We're not all the way down to the creek level, which you can see down there. It's probably another good 10 feet below us. But what we have here is we have the remains of the old culvert. And so we have pieces of the segmented concrete culvert. There's one piece right here. There's another piece over here. And then there's a third piece. If I don't kill myself here, it's a little wet. We have a third piece right here. So very, very common for them to kind of leave these pieces behind. It looks like it's probably about a 3-foot diameter culvert or so. So again, kind of neat to see. So we're going to make our way back up to the grade and then just continue pushing to the south. Okay, so we're back up pedaling here. I'm sure the sun is a bit of an issue. I'm going to try to keep my head kind of down to the right here as we pass through this cutting. The cloud cover is starting to disappear. So here you can see an example of how everything's starting to grow in here. So you can see these look like alders and birches that are starting to encroach as we pass through this cutting. And then again, end of the cutting, little ravine here, culvert, no marker, and then back into the cutting. You can see the grade here as we go through this cut. You can see the grade here is very, very well traveled. There's not really any ballast issues that sometimes are kind of the bane of my my explorations here. Can be really challenging trying to pedal through the ballast at times when it's thick. Okay, so I'm going to zip you ahead as we pass through this cut here. I'm going to zip you ahead to our next stop. There is you can see there is a tie still left in place here. So actually this one's in pretty good shape. All right, so we're coming up here to our next stop. So surprise, surprise, we're up on the top of yet another embankment. This one's pretty high. This one's probably, I'd say, in a good 40-foot range here, if not more. Now, the point of interest here, and we've seen this in a couple other spots further to the north here, but here you can see a really bad example here. So you can see in this spot here, the grade has just been completely kind of wiped out by this erosion here. And as we're going to see, we're going to drop down. You can see, actually see, this looks like some sheet pile there, and so it appears to have been a problematic place before the railway line was pulled up, with the amount of rock that looks like that's been dumped in here, and kind of some of the reinforcing work that's been done. So we'll drop down and take a look at what's going on. Okay, so we've made our way, not all the way down, but a little ways down the grade here. You can see this little creek and the culvert down at the bottom where my dog is splashing around. And so I just wanted to show you a little sort of close-up of this kind of washout area. And so obviously it appears that this was a problematic area to begin with. You can see all of the rock fill that has been dumped in here. There's a tie plate hiding in there. And so you can see how this has all kind of come down. But again, it seems like it was fairly problematic for them to dump all of this rock. I don't know if this was original rock or if this was deposited after, but you can see a bunch of other things here. You can see that there looks like there's sheet pile that's been driven into the ground, again, almost acting like a kind of like a retaining wall. And you can see that there's timbers attached to that, again, trying to kind of hold everything up. Now, what's interesting as well is there's kind of bits of metal here, and I don't quite know what these are. I don't know if there was a little, maybe a derailment over here, or if they dumped some disused equipment. It's pretty big, it's pretty heavy. There's a lot of moss on it, so it's been here for a while. So there's some stuff here, and then there's some stuff that's over here as well. So kind of really interesting to take a look at. So we're going to jump back up on the grade, and then we're just going to continue pushing our way south and then westward towards Ancliff.